People are down there and trading. They're telling us social distance. What is the meaning of social distance? Go to the market where they sell food stuff. You see crowded people everywhere.
Traffic gridlock and pedestrian movement is cited on the axis and entrance of Wuse Market, which used to be a beehive of activities. Vehicle owners gain easy access into the market after paying their toll, while others have to pass through a form of sanitation strategically situated at the gates before entering into the markets.
Welcome to Wuse Market, one of the popular markets in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This market is considered as an organized market where shoppers come to get items at, though a higher price, but they see it as an easy way of getting their goods. Behind me is this crowd of people who have, I would say, defied the social distancing measure against the pandemic that has claimed the life of thousands to transact their businesses. What does this mean for the country and for the Federal Capital Territory, even as there are rising number of cases daily? Come with us as we take you through the market to see the adherence and how businesses are operating at this time.
Non-essential commodity sellers are seen in the markets in crowded groups, trying to gain the attention of those who may need their services, just as some are making negotiations and transactions. Majority of the shops are under lock and key. Buyers scamper to beat time and get needed items. We caught up with some buyers who expressed their reservations.
Federal government did mistake for the first time because when he allowed people in abroad going outside, coming in, people have taken a drastic measure by shut down the seaports, international airports, and within Nigeria. Look at what I came here to buy. Understand? Before, what I used to spend is just 2,500, but now I spend 5,000.
We notice that the price of things come up. Compare how it is before, January, February, middle of March, before the government bring the lockdown. So things are really high this time around. So the only thing we are asking for the government is, as it is now, let the government know how they are going to regulate this thing.
Traders selling essential commodities gives a comparative analysis of price of food items.
Now the price go down. Before they say this 800, 700. Now I know past 500. Coconut 200. Before it is 300.
No change.
Before 300, now it's 200. This is 90 cost now.
This one costs. How much did they sell?
Cost of this coronavirus.
Okay.
Before it did cheap well. Now because the people they use well. And so they cost.
Because of grape.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
much be one?
100 naira.
Before uncle?
Before they say 200, 150.
So it cheap a bit come up.
So it went down some more. Even the depot, no pass 15 naira.
Before I interacted with this trader, he sanitized his hands and made me do the same.
You know, say here. You know, say everybody they fear this coronavirus. But all these places where they sell for market, some barrow boy, if they come by, find what is the job. That's why you see market plenty. Some but customers they come, because not every day they do.
With an array of perishable and non-perishable goods displayed by the sellers, this site explains the irony at this critical time. Some of the traders in the market who do not sell what is considered as essential commodities in their shops are unhappy.
People are down there and trading. They're telling us social distance. What is the meaning of social distance? Go to the market where they sell food stuff. You see crowded people everywhere. What's the meaning of that one? We do hairstylists. We are not thieves. We don't rob. We have handwork, so you allow us to work with our handwork. So you don't want to provide means of living for us. You don't want to provide food for us. You ask us to stay at home. Stay with home.
But since this lockdown now, I don't have anybody to run to or any other thing. They said that they are going to share food. Yes, food reached to my area, but the food I shared was not good.
While market activities have not been thriving for weeks, what happens to other traders not selling food items and who consider the lockdown as an economic sabotage? Mr. Innocent Amechina, the head of corporate affairs Abuja Market Management Limited, gave the way forward.
FCT administration has come up with what they call neighborhood selling point. The idea is to decentralize the market, to take the market away from the crowd, away from the hub, closer to people's homes. That way, every seller don't need to gather, for instance, in Wuse or Gariki market. The same to every buyer. You don't need to come to Wuse or Gariki market.
The FCTA is targeting about 40 of the neighborhood selling points in the various areas of the FCT, and by the end of the week, 15 neighborhood markets may have been set in green areas and public schools. That way, the market is brought closer to the people.
Gariki Market is also another popular market in the Federal Capital Territory. As you can see behind me, people who have opened and allowed to open in this market are food sellers, the major commodities for people to keep body and soul together, and evidently there are still some form of defiance to the preventive measures. People are going about their normal businesses. I am here to also do a market survey to know how the situation of things is in the market and around. Come with me.
The situation at Gariki is similar to that of Wuse.
I will not tell you lies. We are not observing 100% of social distance because we are learning. And moreover, this is a market. Everybody is rushing. There is a split time for the market to open and close. So people are rushing to buy one or two things and go back to their homes.
The federal government on the 1st of April 2020 relaxed the lockdown order. Stores and shops selling food items and groceries were allowed to open at certain hours. Markets have been partially opened as well. But the major challenge at the moment is maintenance of social distancing, which, if not strictly adhered to, may metamorphose into a disaster for Nigeria. Perhaps the opening of neighborhood selling points by the Federal Capital Territory Administration will go a long way and flatten the curve. Oluwatobi Enitan reporting for Roots TV, Nigeria.